Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
What we can see is GBP CHF. It took no trades this week. As you can see, it's on a buy 3, sell 0, no trades opened, no trades in the history. We can see here NZD CAD did not take any trades this week as well, 0% floating, buy 1, sell 1. So, you know, it's cool that I can come in and we can look at each and every single pair that we scan. AUD CAD here, you can see no trades this week. Euro NZD, we can see this week. And so you guys know Euro NZD isn't actually on our pairs list, right? But I'm going to show you guys the data today. And I started scanning Euro NZD because I wanted to scan all the majors and minors. So, right, I have a list of about 25, but that doesn't include a few of them like GBP CHF and Euro NZD, a few that weren't even on that list. And some people asked me about them. And I said, you know what, I'll start some new $500 accounts so that we can see how they do. And I got to be honest with you, I've been watching Euro NZD crush it. Some of my guys on my team have been using Euro NZD on their accounts for a few months. And the results, I mean, it gets into some trades and it does very well. And we're going to see the MyFX book on that data since I started this account today. So we'll take a look at that. And let's keep going through. We'll go to Cloud Trader 7 here. So we got Euro GBP, no trades entered. NZD CHF, we have no trades entered. We come over here to NZD JPY and as well, no trades entered here. So what we're seeing so far as we're going through these is, yeah, it's been a very slow week. There has not been trades taken. USD CAD on this account, it's out of all trades. It has not entered any new ones. It's out of the ones it entered. It had a nice profit run, it looks like, the last few weeks. NZD USD as well, no trades this week, no weekly floating, right? So we had one of those slow weeks on swing mode where there's just the market's kind of consolidated. It's not really doing anything that it needs to be doing in order for us to get a trade, right? GBP AUD, nothing. Come on over here to GBP CAD. We got nothing. GBP JPY, once again, there was nothing on precision this week in the swing mode. So I find it very important to run these data accounts so that we actually know what's going on in the market, you know, because sometimes people are like, oh, mine took a trade, mine didn't. Well, why, right? And we can look at it. GBP NZD, nope, no trade. Now, don't get me wrong, we're probably pretty close. We're already at a 4. I think we have to make it a 6 after Wednesday on swing. Let's take a look. Yep, actually we have to make it over 7. There's over 6. So yeah, no, GBP NZD is a far way out too. But here we go, GBP USD. We took this trade actually last week, from what I can see, actually 2 weeks ago. That Friday closing out, it looks like, and it actually had just missed its take profit and then fell down, right? So we entered right here. TP was here. We just missed it. Just missed it. And back down. Which most likely what will happen here is maybe we fall a little bit, get a second entry, TP moves down around here, swings back up, and we actually end up making more profit. So believe it or not, a second entry is always your friend with GearBox. A first entry can be great when you get a really sniper move and you just make money, but you actually make more money on a second move because it's pulling both trades into profit with a higher lot size. So you typically always actually do want to secure a second entry. So in a situation like this, I'm not so mad. Yeah, I just missed my TP, but I guarantee I play this trade a little bit longer and I make more money than I would have had it just hit the TP there, if that makes sense. All right. All right, we come over to Euro USD and we are in trades. We have been in these trades though, as you can see. We got into them right when Euro USD had its nice big fall off of the cliff here. And we also just missed TP, but that's the new TP because we just took this entry, right? So actually, this TP was higher. And what do you know? We took our third entry. Now the TP has moved just below the first entry. But again, this will be a very profitable move when it plays out on the Euro US dollar here. Over to EuroCAD, and EuroCAD's been kicking our butt. In fact, EuroCAD is going to have its entries increased in the next GearBox manager because it's just been kicking our butt for way too long. We also had just missed TP a few times, not on this account, it doesn't look like. But on one of my other accounts, I literally just missed TP on this EuroCAD buy. You know, and because of that, you look at stuff like that and you go, okay. But in this case, we've just been chopping down here for a long time and waiting to get into that next, you know, range, right? Choppity chop, and, you know, give us a little pump or something. And we got nothing on Euro CHF this week. Take a look over here to USD CHF. And these are also trades we've been playing for about 2 weeks. We got into when the market had a nice big pump. And we've been holding on here, waiting for a little bit of reversal back down to this zone to get ourselves out of here. We're only about 5% drawdown, so nothing to be concerned about or worry about. Cloud Trader 2, why did you disconnect on me? There we go, coming back. Well, not sure what happened to this VPS. We'll have to go re-grab Cloud Trader 2. I think that one might have gone down or crashed on us. Well, let's get into my FX book in the meantime and look at some of the data from these accounts while we're at it. My FX book. So we're going to go over to the one pair data. Keep in mind, there's I think 2 pairs on here that have old data on them because actually, yeah, this one we're still waiting to take a trade. So some of them have old data, but from here up is accurate. Boom. So to take a look, first, let's take a look. I see some hands getting raised. We'll take a look at that in a minute. You guys see my screen, right? I'm reading the comments. You see my FX book, right? Is actually the better question. I'm reading the questions here real quick. Where can we find the list of recommended pairs? Also, does the list change often? Ryan, the list doesn't change. It's the majors and the minors that we use. Okay, perfect. Some of the pairs, like I said, the list has all 25 pairs. The only pairs that aren't on that list that you know we've been playing with lately and adding, GBP CHF and Euro NZD has done really well. Now, where is Euro NZD? Let's take a look at this. So this account, you can see we started this account on June 2nd. So Euro NZD by itself has performed incredible. Now, yes, it is not on the list with the 25 different pairs that exist, but it is one of the other majors and minors. So there's 28 majors and minors total. We had a list of 25. Euro NZD is one of the 3 that was missing. So people asked me to do some testing on it. And I've been impressed so far in June, and I've been impressed seeing some of my students' results the last few months using it as well in GearBox, and it's been highly profitable with low risk. They've won 89% of trades this month with it, caught over 757 positive pips, profit factors off the roof, and the drawdown has been absolutely tiny. And keep in mind, yeah, this is like a 588 euro account that we started with as a balance, but nonetheless, 13% with that little drawdown is absolutely incredible. So yeah, Euro NZD does look very, very prime. Again, like I said, some of this data is wrong. You see, some of these are before GearBox even existed. These are old accounts that I'm waiting on new trades to be taken so I can do a custom analysis on them. This was indeed actually USD JPY. USD JPY is the worst performing pair. That's why we eliminated it. But it has actually come back from its loss. It's been making its loss back. Let's see, kind of any of these pairs anyone wants to see, but I wanted to show some of those new ones that we had been starting to do some testing on that were not on the list. So Euro NZD was one of the ones that was most important on there. But as you can see, AUD USD has been one of the better performers. GBP USD has been one of the better performers. GBP AUD. Right, you can see these have all actually stayed in pretty phenomenally low drawdown for a $500 account, right? So I don't just look at gain. I'm also going to look at the drawdown and balance out all the things. I'm going to look at profitability and organize by profitability. Some of this data is going to be incorrect because some of these have only taken 1 or 2 trades. But if we come down here and take a look at something with some trades, you can see GBP NZD has actually been our most profitable. When we actually look at something that has some real data to it, it has been one of our best performing pairs. Now, the problem is GBP NZD hasn't taken a trade since May. And prior to May, its last trade was March. Right. And so it was crushing it. But GBP NZD hasn't really been moving lately. It hasn't been getting us entries since May. We've gone through all of June without scoring an entry. We went through all of April without scoring an entry. So, yeah, even though I can say this is a best performing pair looking at data, the last 2 months, it hasn't performed at all. Right? But it's been our best performer since we started. Some of the other GBP pairs too. So let's say we came over here and let's look at profitability again. Euro NZD, you can see, has been highly profitable. There's some data already there for month 1, which, like I said, Euro NZD was pretty exciting this month, and most of the pairs were boring. So some people might look to add that one. I might look to add it to the chart. GBP CAD has been profitable, but it has also been very boring. Euro CHF has been pretty profitable, but boring on the gain. GBP AUD, right? All right, let's take a look at GBP AUD. Same concept. Our last trade was March 29th. This is a best performing pair. It was doing great monthly gains, right? But there's times where it's super slow. December, I mean, it did 25%. January was nothing. March, it did 10, right? So this is why we scan so many pairs, because there's times where there's pairs that, quite honestly, they're just not going to get in trades because the market conditions just aren't to the specifications of our precision settings. And these are, again, good examples of pairs that, do phenomenally well. And I wouldn't tell you go decrease your entry to accommodate and get more trades on these pairs. I'll tell you wait, because guess what? Just how they're not getting entries now, we're going to go through another market cycle where they're performing like this. So you got to remember there's different market cycles. And right now we're in a little bit of a semi-consolidated cycle on some of these pairs. They have trending moves and then they consolidate for months where, we used to have a lot more chop up and down. And I've been noticing a lot less chop, more large trending moves, and then a larger trending move that plays out for long periods of time. And then finally another reversal and trend back to a take profit. It's been happening more and more the past few months. We haven't had as much play as normal. Let's take a look and see what else we have here. Just trying to show you guys some data, explain a lot of the thought processes I have here. AUD USD has done really well. I will tell you that it has crushed it like a champion. This is AUD USD since October. And we've won 82% of trades. We've caught 1,372 pips. Now, I actually want you to think about this real quick. I showed you guys Euro NZD that's been running for 1 month. and it caught half of this, a little more than half of this, 60% of that amount of pips. This is our top performer right now in terms of gain since October. But if we went back there to that Euro NZD account that we just looked at, where did you go, Euro NZD? I'm probably blind and it's in front of my face. Oh, this goes down more. No wonder. There it was hidden. We got more than half of that in the last month. I mean, look at that. That's ridiculous. So now keep in mind there's negative pips that are being taken into account on the AUD account as well of trade that's lost, which balances it out. But still, in 1 month to look at that, I mean, that's just pretty phenomenal. Sunita, you know, I don't let little things like that play into, you know, my trading with GearBox. Sunita asked if I'd recommend closing out UCAD before tonight since it's July 4th weekend. I don't let things like that really play into effect with GearBox. The reason for it is GearBox isn't a scalper. It's a long-term swing trader. It's looking for larger moves and it can handle the volatility with proper risk setting. So I just let it do its thing. I don't look and say, oh, it's July 4th or it's NFP or it's this, especially in precision modes. In precision modes, I'm such a let GearBox do what it needs to do, because anytime, and I'm going to tell you this just completely honest, anytime I've ever interfered with GearBox and not trusted my own product, I've been the wrong one. And I'm just telling you that firsthand, because every time I've just trusted the product and just, you know, even if it gotten trades for 2-3 months and I'm just like, whatever, I let it do its thing. They play out every single time. Because I designed it to be able to withstand the volatility. You can hold your trades as long as you need to, as long as you can withstand the volatility and the historical moves, and GearBox can do what it does. You know, and great examples of that would come into some of my riskier accounts that I've ran, such as 6 max pairs running on a $1,500 account. I mean, and they were all highly correlated at the time. This is before the correlation filter. And you can see that the balance protection, once you hit 25% drawdown, it stops taking new trades. So at 25%, we stopped taking new trades, but the market spiked. But because we weren't deploying any new lots, we kind of just maintained this 38% spot, even when we railed some stop losses. And, you know, this probably wasn't that exciting, right? I went from 80 to 48% growth. I mean, that's pretty boring, but then it's made it all back and more. So the point is, anytime I've just trusted GearBox and let GearBox do what GearBox needs to do and run the risk settings and, you know, the strategies that we've deployed, it does what it needs to do. And anytime I've seen people interfere with it, or I've interfered with it, I've tried to add extra positions, I've tried to hedge against it or do stupid things, I always just put myself in a silly predicament. So, you know, now again, it's up to you to decide what you want to do. I'm just telling you my firsthand experience is my best running accounts are the ones I never interfere with. I just make sure they're set up every week. I don't ever try to manually intervene. I don't go try and change a bunch of settings. I leave my balance protection at 25%, even if it looks like, oh, you could have taken another entry and been out of that trade so much sooner. Yeah, you're right. But I also could keep taking trades and the market could go against me and I cry. I'd rather stop taking trades and just chill out. And that feature has also been a lifesaver. The balance protection feature has literally been effective in every single one of these accounts. Another account I can give you an example on was an aggressive $2,000 account. Now, this account got into a higher drawdown. These were 6 pairs that were highly correlated. And not only were they correlated, I also had the lot size at 0.02 per 1K, basically. It was a $2,000 account with a 0.04 starting lot on 6 pairs on Sniper. Now, it didn't hit stop losses like the swing account because it got 1 entry later than that previous account you just saw. This drawdown was around the same period, right? But it didn't take those losses. Now, you might be saying, well, why didn't it take those losses? Well, we didn't have that stop loss because we entered 1 trade later. So maybe we hit 1 or 2 stops. Wasn't as bad of a loss. But we got a higher drawdown with that higher lot size. At one point, we almost swung out of all of it, then came back in. Again, these are examples of where, you know, you could have decided to close a little bit. But for me, I just said no. And we've kept playing it. We've kept playing it. We've been getting out of trades this whole time. I mean, we've gone from 101 to 132 now. So in this time, we've stayed in drawdown since February. We've still made 32% in that time, right? And in that time, we've stayed in drawdown, but we're making money and it's been getting out of it. And balance protection, again, is what saved this account because we had higher lot sizes. Our profit factor is still incredible. Our profitability is still incredible. Just the higher lot size is what got us. And this is why, again, it's smart to also use lower lot size. And again, this thing was running 6 max pairs. Where you come over to a much more conservative strategy, such as my 10K swing account. Yeah, it took that loss as well that the swing account, the 1500 swing account did, but since it only had 3 pairs open, not 6, that loss was not as rough, right? And made it all back. And since then, and had this account been on Sniper, it probably would have had a little bit of a lower drawdown as well. But the gains also maybe could have been a little bit less. But we still caught 8,000 pips. Let me take a look into the Q&A. Peter, great question, said, when running an account 30,000, can you explain how many pairs I should run and what is the effect of running more or less pairs? Peter, you should run all the pairs, and proper term is you should scan all the pairs. You see scanning 19, 3 max trading here. That means that I'm scanning 19 majors and minors for entries, but I'm only allowing 3 of them to ever take trades at the same time, right? Which is a setting inside GearBox. So I'm going to scan all 19 for entries, but I'm only allowing 3 max pairs to trade at the same time. And you could maybe have 25 pairs, 22, 23. There's some that I'm not running on this account. I don't tend to like most of the JPY pairs. I only run Euro JPY and CHF JPY these days on my GearBox accounts. I've eliminated from my accounts like this, I've eliminated GBP JPY, AUD JPY, NZD JPY, CAD JPY. I've eliminated them all. I don't run them on these accounts, but I'm probably going to add Euro NZD to this account. I'm not scanning Euro NZD on here. I'll probably make this scanning 20, add Euro NZD, and that'll be my next strategy here. All right. Hey, Tyler, quick question. In regards to playing conservative, is it better to increase the max number of pairs trading or increase the lot size? Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I never would increase the max pairs trading. I know that there's some different points of views from people on this. For me, I personally, because of the way GearBox trades, you're not going to, even if you increase your max pairs, there's going to be times where you never even deploy 6 max pairs. I have some accounts that have 6 max pairs as a setting right now, and they're in 2 pairs. So you essentially are putting yourself in not a riskier situation, but also a less profitable situation in the current market condition. Now, if we go back to November, December, and October market conditions where the market was very choppy up and down with enough moves that GearBox was getting entries, then you would also probably put yourself in the same risky situation. But the thing I like about trading less max pairs is, again, you're decreasing your exposure to the market because there's only a few pairs that can go against you, not multiple, right? Now, even though you could decrease your lot size and run more, you also take that chance that, okay, let's say, I'll give you an example. Let's say GBP USD took a trade and you could have had a 0.03 lot size and instead you have a 0.01. And that week's just super boring. GBP USD smashes take profit, 200 pips. Well, it would have been a lot cooler at a 0.03 lot size than a 0.01. And now you're just bored because no other pairs entered that week. So this is personally why I stick to scanning all the pairs and 0.01 per 1K for the most part, and 3 max trading on my precision accounts. Anything over 4, 5, 6 max pairs trading, you are in a moderate aggressive land. Absolutely. But also, like I said, if you decreased your lot size, you can make it conservative, but you also face the downside of, well, if all those pairs aren't even getting entries, you're just actually making less profit. Ryan, can you connect your trading account to my FX book on a Mac? Absolutely. I don't know why my FX book, doesn't matter your computer. You can connect it from your iPhone. So let me check the Q&A here. All right. Not seeing any more questions right now. So just also cover it while we're here. Let's talk about these small accounts, right? You're not going to go pay your monthly fee on it, but has GearBox traded $250 since August, withdrawn all the initial balance, and up over 100% with a 6 profit factor, and won 78% of trades and caught 2,000 positive pips in only 65 trades? Yes. If GearBox can manage a $250 account without blowing it since August, can GearBox manage your money? And I think the answer every single time is absolutely. It's just about you putting the proper risk settings. But yeah, I mean, that's the proof's in the pudding. I've yet to see somebody show me EAs that work on $250 and have almost a year's worth of history right now. Same here with this $500 sniper. We've been running it since August. Same concept. Trading 2 max pairs at the same time. We've only even ever faced a 45% drawdown. Won 80% of trades, caught 3,000 positive pips in 83 trades total since August. So super precision trades, right? So the point is, if GearBox can handle a small amount of money, it can handle a large amount of money. So it's that's the number one thing. When I designed the product, I said, if I can design a product that can handle capital this tiny, it can manage large capital, right? And that's the proof and the belief for somebody to see that, okay, I can trust this thing. And here we are almost a year later, and I think the proof's in the pudding. So let's take a look at Forex Factory for the upcoming week. Today is Friday. Happy NFP Day. It is the first Friday of the new month. So as you guys know, NFP today, going in to Monday, we have AUD RBA rate statement. We're going to have our ISM services PMI for USD on Tuesday. Wednesday, this is typically a bigger red folder, always FOMC meeting minutes. That's one to look out for always. And then, going into Friday, we have Canadian employment and non-employment change. And then it's not a red folder, but I always tell people, look at this. If you see all, so it affects all currencies and it's an orange folder, take a look at it, right? And in this case, it's the G20 meetings. So it's day 2. So we already had day 1 of G20 meetings, which happens right here on Thursday. So look at those two. You have Thursday and Friday, kind of hidden in plain sight, these G20 meetings. But anytime you see all, something to pay attention to. Peter said, on your FX book, it shows pairs trading and pair scanning. I don't see that in FX book. Do I have something set up wrong? No, Peter, I put that label there. You create that label. So this is what I named it. So I put that there. Yours isn't going to just generate that. That's whatever you title the account. All right. Well, with that being said, knowing that this upcoming week is, I wouldn't say heavy red folder filled news week because it's not. I'm going to continue to trade in precision modes as normal. No changes, same strategy. I think one of the best things about GearBox is I haven't changed my strategy in a year. We've increased some entries on a few pairs. That started to trend more this year than previously. We eliminated some JPY pairs. But when it came to the strategies, they've stayed the same. When it's come to the max pairs trading and the lot sizes, they've stayed the same. We haven't made any drastic changes. The most we've ever done is eliminate some pairs that just, they weren't performing the way we'd ideally want them to, which are most JPY pairs, as they don't tend to respect the reversal strategy so well. And then we maybe are going to add some new pairs that they were on the list of majors and minors, just we were never playing with them, such as Euro NZD. But so far, the data suggests that they look very great. But overall, we haven't changed the strategies. We've just continued to add and give more power and control. We have some winning strategies here. And I think that's the best part is I let my accounts do what they do. I'm not in there every week modifying my 60 accounts, making changes. they run and they run and they run. And if I ever make an update to the GearBox manager to increase entries, I tell you guys, and you just hit a button and it changes. But we haven't even had to do that in months. We haven't made a single update to the GearBox manager's entries, and I'd say at least 90 days. So absolutely incredible. And we're in a beautiful spot with this product, and so much more to come in GearBox 1.01, which is coming soon. We've been doing a lot of testing as we made some modifications to make double take profit a little more conservative after 3 cost averages. If any of you are using the double take profit setting, if you ever get in a trend and it goes over 3 cost averages, you'll kind of notice that the double TP actually becomes larger than Ghost Plus Real. And we wanted to fix that, as we didn't think that that should happen. And we've just been testing that really hard, making sure that first piece is good and then adding in all the other functions. But GearBox 1.01 is coming up pretty soon. So very excited for that as well. And a lot more ahead for all of you and the GearBox team. But thank you guys so much for tuning in on this amazing Friday. I hope you all have an amazing 4th of July weekend ahead. It's our wonderful Independence Day. So hopefully there's fireworks where you guys are. Miami canceled them all. I don't know what kind of city this is, but they canceled them last year too. So happy 4th of July, everyone.